wine of the week this week comes from the Rhone Valley in France, and it is a Côtes du Rhône, although unusually I suppose it's a white one. Only around 12 or 15% of all Côtes du Rhône wines are white. This one is the Les Dauphins Côtes du Rhône Blanc 2024, and it's bottled as a reserve, so Côtes du Rhône Reserve. It's in Ocado at £9.50, Waitrose at £10, I believe. You may find some sort of deal on those. And it's a wine made in a fresh, unoaked, but quite creamy and rich style. On the nose, well, the blend is Viognier and Marsanne and typical white Rhone varieties. And the Viognier comes through quite strongly, I think. There's a lovely kind of pear and peach juiciness to this wine. Very attractive, little touch of something floral, but it's very, very kind of bright, but quite creamy in its kind of aromas as well, not sharp aromas. Then on the palate, fruit sweetness for sure, maybe the merest hint of residual sugar in this wine, I'm not entirely sure. It could just be the sweetness of the fruit, the ripeness of the fruit. 14% alcohol, so it's a big ripe wine, but lovely texture. It has that juiciness of peach and again very fresh citrus acidity, cleansing the finish, and it's a very stylish, very good all-round sort of white wine for sipping on its own, though I guess 14% makes that slightly more problematic. But great with fish and seafood, great with chicken, great with creamy pastas or risottos, and a very nice example of an honest Côtes du Rhône from a very good cooperative cellar in the Rhone Valley. This is Les Dauphins Côtes du Rhône Reserve 2024, Ocado or Waitrose, £9.50, £10. It is my wine of the week.